Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is that you inky savages are joining us for episode number 179 of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast. We are back. I am back. I'm on vacation for the next, 10, 11 days?
Vacay. Nice.
Yeah, so I've been away. I've been away taking care of stuff. And, it's a funny story. We'll talk about it later after the sponsorships, but I'll talk about it a little bit right now. You know what? My show. I can do whatever the hell I want. So anyway, what happened was Tom and I recorded an episode previously, a previous episode number 179. And what I found was due to exhaustion and I guess a lot of stress and work nonstop, I wasn't coherent during the whole episode. I was listening to it and I'm editing it and I'm like, I'm not publishing this. They're going to think I've lost my mind. I was rambling and I was babbling and it was not a good episode.
But I mean, how different was that from a normal episode? I'm just kidding. No, yeah. You just seem really out of it. But I mean, I was fine with just saying, because we wanted to make people at least feel as though it's like, hey, we're still here. We didn't have a falling out and you haven't decided to disappear off the face of the earth. But at the same time, I get it. It's like, it's all about quality for you guys and wanting to make sure that we provide a good episode, even though there's plenty of nonsense in the episode, but normally, Yeah.
I just didn't want people to watch the episode and be like, dude, what's wrong with him? He needs to go to a hospital or he needs some sort of... I was just really exhausted. I was stressed out. It was just a very difficult last couple of months, and I'm on vacation, and then at the end of vacation, it'll be another difficult couple of months. But I think because of how things are, I think we'll be able to make sure we're back on track with the... I'm just wiping my screen. We're back on track. We could do this every weekend and make sure that the episodes get up. Before, it was just so chaotic, and there was nothing that I could do about it. I wasn't home 90% of the time. And when I was home, I was knocked out just to be not home for the next couple of weeks, right? So Anyway, we're back. And I'm really excited because I do want to talk about a fountain pen that had been with me for the last couple of months. And it'll be a surprising pen. But before we do that, I have to talk about our sponsorships because it has been a while. I owe some sponsorship reads, so here goes. We're going to talk about Goldspot. Make sure you check out Goldspot pens using the affiliate link in the description below. Please make all your fountain pen purchases and make sure to use the coupon code in order to score yourself additional savings on most of the products on the Goldspot website. And extra discounts are going to come real handy, being that the holidays are coming up, Christmas is coming up. You got to stuff that tree, underneath that tree, with stuff that's, penny related. Pen-Y, pen related. So check out your future Christmas gifts for yourself and for other people at goldspot.com using the affiliate link below. And now time for the coupon code, because I forgot what it was.
Oh, we were gonna change it the last time we recorded. It's going to be foliage.
Right. Why do you want to do that? Because I can't spell foliage. No, really, I really am not.
F-O-L-I-A-G-E, foliage.
Good for you, show off. Now, there's something else we have to talk about when it comes to the sponsorships, and this actually, I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one because I don't know what you're talking about. The product.
Okay.
I know what it is.
So, as many of our listeners know, our other podcast sponsor, longtime podcast sponsor, is Luxury Brands of America. So Bryce, who is the awesome fellow over there at Luxury Brands of America, often sends us the items to then say, hey, how about this as our sponsorship read of the week? And one of the things that we talked about was the fact that I had worked with Endless Recorder and then also with Luxury Brands of America, with Bryce particularly, to create the Endless Ink Journal, which is a notebook for fountain pen and ink enthusiasts, available exclusively at inkjournal.com. That includes pages of which has these awesome end pages here, which have little nibs on them. And then plus it has information in regards to all of the various aspects that you would want to talk about when it comes with ink and writing samples. So if you're talking about your nib, your flow, saturation, shading, sheen, so all of the various aspects of a particular ink that you might want to talk about. And then it has these review pages, of which I have filled out with very pretty inks. And you could rate things such as flow and ghosting and sheen, dry time, discuss about where you found the ink and what price you paid for it, and of course do things like swatches with it. Then you could have kind of a currently inked or a record, an ink dex, if you will, of all of the various inks you have reviewed in your ink journal. And on top of that, the very last 12 spreads are all kind of a calendar spread so that you could participate in 30 inks in 30 days, which is a social media challenge that I like to host every once in a while that lets you explore 30 different ink colors in 30 days. Or if you decide to do 31, the very last day is actually split in two with a little dotted line. So yeah, so this is a product that I had designed, worked on, made prototypes of, and then sent the design schematics to Endless and all the specifications, and then they produced this awesome ink journal. So Bryce wanted me to talk about it because I sent him a copy to say, hey, is there anything that we could do to help promote this awesome thing that you created? So I said, well, did you have one that you could, let's say, do your Colorverse ink swatches with, or your Noodler's ink swatches for social media? It's like, no, I didn't have one. I sent all of the books to you, Tom. So I sent him one back so that he could play with it. And he was like, dude, this thing's awesome. I'm fighting with people in the office to use it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I like it myself a lot because, of course, with all of the various inks that I play with, I like to have a spot where then I could go back in and say, oh, well, I tried an ink that was like that, had some nice sheen, was a nice red color. What was that ink? And the Regalia paper that they use on this is very hardy for fountain pen ink, meaning that it's not going to feather. It's going to be very difficult to bleed through. You're gonna have to use a ton of ink to even just try to manage to show through on that paper. So it's very solid for fountain pens. It's got a interesting texture as well, so it's got a very toothy texture about it, and it's a solid journal. So I mean I made it myself, but I made it because I wanted to use something like that. So
right. Well,
yeah.
Awesome. That is excellent. I like the color.
Oh yeah, the color of the cover is also my one of my loveliest fun colors that I love. So
yeah, you totally love that color. So
so nice, so very me. Oh, and guess which iMac color I picked for my new iMac? Because they come in different colors.
Right.
So
I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's the same cerulean blue, turquoisey look.
It's the blue one. Yeah, it's the blue.
Yeah. I also want to catch up on this other one from Banu. It was supposed to be for the week of November 27th, and I'm looking at it and I like it a lot.
Oh, is it the hand painted one?
I don't know. I'm looking at the photos of it.
Okay.
And it looks really nice. It's this one right here. You see it?
Oh, okay. That's the it's the other Christmas one. So there's Berry Christmas, which is Berry and Right. I think it was.
Yeah, and then there's the bear. This is the berry.
Yeah, the berry one.
There's a bear.
There's a bear on it.
And then this is like the Christmassy one, I guess. Right?
Oh, Christmas Twinkle. Christmas Twinkle.
Right.
That's
Christmas
what it is.
Twinkle
Okay.
And Berry Merry Christmas.
Yes, Berry Merry Christmas. Yeah.
To celebrate the most wonderful time of the year, Banu introduces 2 Christmas-themed fountain pens, Christmas Twinkle and Berry Merry Christmas. That's cute. That's cute, dork. Crafted using the traditional Christmas colors, both pens have been produced as a worldwide limited edition. I bet you it's one of a kind.
Oh, yeah.
500 Christmas Twinkle pens and just 100 Berry Merry Christmas pens.
Mm-hmm.
The Christmas Twinkle is distinguished by a captivating glow-in-the-dark effect using blue light, while Berry Merry Christmas is decorated with unique hand-painted art. Both pens have serial numbers engraved on the ring of Christmas Twinkle and hand-painted on the barrel of Berry Merry Christmas. Whenever dash have you...
Oh, that's the other one was the limited edition Rainforest one. That was the other one that...
Whenever.
Yeah.
This is another...
Yeah. That's the other one, yeah.
Yeah, then there's the Retro 51 Rainforest pen. So I can read that one whenever. So have you purchased the limited edition Rainforest Retro 51 luxury brand's exclusive Tornado. They're still around, so get them while you got. They're going to run out soon. You better grab your frog on the finial. A portion of the proceeds from the purchase of this pen will be donated to the Rainforest Trust to help protect endangered animals and landscapes around the world. They're 500 pieces limited worldwide, and you can only get them at luxurybrandsofamerica.com/product/retro51. So please pick that up. It helps the rainforests. The Benu, what's the story with that? Can they get that at Goldspot?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
So
both of them are still available.
Yeah, get the Benu from Goldspot. Get the Christmas Twinkle and the Berry Merry Christmas. And
use your coupon code. Use the affiliate link first, and then the coupon code Foliage.
I really dislike that. But it was your turn to pick, so since it's your turn to pick,
we'll pick it. We'll pick the new one in the new year, so we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do that. But anyway, that's just fine. Foliage, I guess, right? Anyway, so that's the sponsorship reads for episode number 179. Thanks again for joining us, and we are going to go through the introduction, the whole thing. I almost forgot the format of this thing because it's been so long. But anyway, before I get started with this week's episode of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast, I want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. This podcast is not scripted and therefore will probably more than likely contain a lot more potty mouth words than usual. So be forewarned, you have been warned. Now, on to the podcast.
The PenBoyRoy Entertainment Podcast. Stay savage.
All right, here we are. We're going to be talking about a fountain pen that I've been using while working. And it might come as a surprise to you because it's not the typical fountain pen that I would probably use on a regular basis. But what I found myself using throughout the last couple of months was, and I haven't been able to use fountain pens that much, but when I did use fountain pens, I'm going to give you 3 guesses, Tom. What do you think it would be?
Well, I know it can't be a Platinum Curidas because you still have not replaced the one that you have lost for that. So,
You have not replaced the one that I lost.
I have not replaced the one that you have lost. I am going to guess that it is not a Popeye pen.
No.
So can't say that it's a Popeye pen. I'm guessing it's not going to be a Mont Blanc either because I just feel like that would be too much for what you're doing. Right. It has to be kind of like a little bit more utilitarian, I'm thinking. So, and you're thinking that I'm trying to think. I'm guessing like I feel like also too it can't be conventional. It can't be something that's going to be easy to predict. So it can't be like, let's say, a Platinum 3776 or it can't be like an Edison. I'm gonna guess like a Monteverde tool pen.
Dude. Did I tell you that?
No. Is it really a Monteverde? Is it a Monteverde tool pen?
Yeah, it totally was a Monteverde tool pen. So, I mean, I have this one here. This is the rainbow colored one. This is not the one that I was using. I was using the standard yellow one. This one happens to be rainbow because Neve from Jaffa sent it to me. And I've actually never used the yellow, the rainbow one. It doesn't really fit my personality, the bright colors. But I was using the Monteverde tool pen, and what I found was the reason I went to use that one is because every once in a while I actually needed the screws, the screwdrivers.
Right.
And
the Phillips head or the flathead bit. Did you use the Phillips or the flathead bit more?
The Phillips more.
Okay.
I used the Phillips more. And then what I found was I needed a pen that would be able to withstand impact a little bit more. Dust, dirt, and, just impact from hard objects and stuff like that. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff. So that's the one I've been carrying around, and I've been using it, and I have a newfound appreciation for the Monteverde tool pen because of its durability. Because, I mean, this is going to sound mean, but it's an inexpensive pen, and it wouldn't break my heart if, like,
it got lost, damaged, destroyed.
If it got scratched, if, something like a metal object hit it and scratched it or anything like that, it just wouldn't have broken my heart. But although, having said that, I do find that I have a great appreciation for it now, because it was definitely handy. Because while I was working, and you know, when you're working and you're not home for stretches of time, I think it's easy sometimes to just really focus on the task at hand, the mission of completing whatever it is that you have to do, and you kind of are so focused and tunnel visioned on that you kind of just, I guess, leave parts of your identity compartmentalized, like your home identity. You leave that aside, right? So while you're doing what you got to do at work, and you know, you're doing things that is just work related, you can forget about who you are outside of work. But I felt like I had to take a fountain pen with me, knowing I'm not going to be able to use it that much, just to remind me of, I'm who I am.
Yeah.
Even though I'm ultra focused and detached from life.
You are reminding yourself what you are doing this for, and that is the pursuit of more fountain pens.
Exactly. It would have been nice when I got home that a care package from Goldspot showed up at my door. But whatever, man. It's fine. But anyway, so yeah, the Monteverde tool pen, I've been using that here and there, and it kept me thinking, oh, the fountain pen side of me is a big part of me, and won't forget that, because when you're busy, you don't have time to draw. Like, do you remember how intensely passionate about drawing I was and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well, after getting like so swamped and detached, I just forgot about it. I just lost the drive. I haven't been able to think about it, and haven't been on Instagram as much. I mean, I would flip it on and look at it, and there's a lot of messages there that I haven't looked at. A lot of text messages from friends that I see that they text, but I don't get back to them right away. Like, if you're not pinned at the top of my, phone, you know how like you can pin text messages,
like the pin conversations, in the Apple iMessages, yeah,
you probably are all the way down on my text messages, because I really haven't checked them, and I have been primarily using my work phone and my work iPhone, and my work iPhone is like my primary communication with people at work, because it's all like official work stuff, right? So my personal phone was really just checking in with my wife, letting her know, once a day that I'm still alive and stuff like that. That was pretty much it. And like even you would text me, I would get back to you like 2 days later.
Oh, that's usually the way that I operate too. It's like, as far as how bad I am at texting. So that's just that you had to step down to my standard of texting.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Did you get a new phone in addition to the new computer?
I did, yeah.
What'd you get?
So 15 Pro.
Oh, okay. I got the 15 Pro Max because I was like, I like the idea of titanium and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
I think mine also has but mine's not it's not the larger screen. It's just this smaller. It's not because the Max, I think it brings it out even more so with the screen size. Yeah.
Right. I also got the Apple Watch Ultra.
Oh, nice.
That's really cool. I still haven't figured it all out, but I got the.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. I got.
Is it? That is one of your cats, or is that just a generic cat
Garfield.
picture?
That's Garfield.
Nice.
Yeah, and I got the screen protector by Spigen. It has I think it's an alloy frame or something like that. So it matches. I got orange instead of green because Garfield is orange. This is a paracord band.
Cool.
With a Cobra buckle.
Nice.
I love Cobra buckles. Every buckle I have is like a Cobra buckle. So it'll never come out. It'll never pop out. And it's a paracord. It's made by a company called Cordiz, Kordiz. It was $80. It was made in America, and the connectors are titanium also, So it looks cool. I like it. I like it a lot. It is a little snug because when you order it,
Very nice.
you have to give them the measurements of your wrist. So, I mean, it feels a little more
precise.
snug than I would like. Yeah. I used a garment, like, tape ruler to measure it and stuff like that. It's still a little too snug, but I guess I'll get used to it. You know, I don't usually wear my watches that snug, but it's fine. I like it a lot. I like the paracord concept. It's not one of those survival ones where you unravel it and you can use it for something. It's not like that. It's actually fixed in there, so it's
you can't just in a pinch decide to like unravel your wrist watch thing and then just
no. But 3 years ago on Christmas, I think you gave me one of those survival bracelets. It was a paracord survival bracelet where if you unravel it, I remember you gave me one of those, or it was a keychain. But yeah, never had to use it. Never needed to tie something up so desperately that I had to take it apart and use that. But I gotta get filled in. I've been so out of the picture. I want to know what's new, what's going on at Gold Spot, what products are out there. Talk to me. Tell me something cool about fountain pens.
There's plenty of cool things about fountain pens. So very cool. Well, I mean, where to start? I mean, it's just so many cool things. Fountain pens is always like the coolest of the cool. So let me see. I'm just gonna take a look at like the latest, because I mean, I think for a stretch of several weeks there's just been new pens that just pop up every single week. The Bennu ones that we mentioned was definitely one of the holiday releases that was fun and exciting. This past week was Narwhal had introduced a Nautilus in a Christmas design. So that was a nice shimmery type of pen that has dark green, red, snowy white, gold going through it, very shimmery. I think it was made by, the resin itself was made by Starry Night Resins in Texas. Then Visconti introduced a couple of new Voyager designs. I think those are Brooks acrylics made of, there's a Voyager and a Mariposa, which was like a butterfly sort of inspired design. Then so we also introduced Goldspot had an exclusive called the Mantis Shrimp, which I think you would find interesting.
Where's that? Is that I clicked on new arrivals just to see what's new.
It's on the first page of new arrivals. It's called the Narwhal Nautilus Mantis Shrimp. So if you could imagine, I don't know if many people are familiar with mantis shrimp, but they are basically like a shrimp, or it looks kind of like a lobstery. It's more lobstery looking, but it's a shrimp that is rainbow colored, like peacock colored. And these things are notorious for having the strongest punch of any animal in the animal kingdom. Like they have a wicked punch that will actually crack the shells, or it can't actually be in an aquarium because it will crack the glass. Like the punch is that strong.
I've seen mantis shrimp on social media some time back. You're right. They look more like lobsters. Mm-hmm. I mean, so what they say about them is kind of hard to believe. You've mentioned them before, right? Like they punch so fast, and the speed and the impact is so powerful that it's like the temperature of the sun or something like that.
Well, I think it creates the velocity creates like this bubble that happens where it's like it actually heats up the water to like a boil, like right by where their claw comes out to like punch. But they say the velocity of that punch is the same as a .22 caliber bullet. So it's like it's crazy. But you watch demonstrations, watch YouTube videos of mantis shrimp fighting and killing other things. They will just punch something to death. That's how they kill things. Like they dismember crabs with a single punch. It's incredible to see it.
So I'm looking at, let's see, how powerful is a mantis shrimp punch? The mini-weight boxing title of the animal world belongs to the mantis shrimp, a cigar-sized crustacean with front claws that can deliver an explosive 60-mile-per-hour punch. I think a .22 goes faster than 60 miles per hour. The speed of the shrimp strike has been compared to that of a bullet leaving the barrel of a gun. Hold on, I gotta open that up and see. I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, watch a few YouTube videos and you'll see. A
university study of 8 million years of mantis shrimp evolution reveals how the little animal's fast weapon developed a dizzying array of shapes, from spiny and barbed spears to hatchets and hammers, while still managing to pack a characteristic punch. This research sheds new light on how these amazing movements evolved. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. I remember someone said, I think it might have been you, that it like the speed creates heat that's like equivalent to the sun, which I called bullshit on because
I don't know about the no. I don't think the surface of the sun thing. That doesn't sound right to me.
The whole fucking tank of water caused it to explode and stuff like that. I mean, I honestly don't see how that could also break the glass. I mean, I've never heard of like a shrimp breaking the glass. Actually, maybe I read it somewhere, but that would suck, right? You have like a nice, 65-gallon saltwater aquarium for your mantis shrimp, and then in the middle of the night it just bursts open because he punched the glass. Right? That would be hard.
And you would have nothing to say but like, aw, like it's like my mantis shrimp tried to escape, and
right, now he's dead.
No, so it's just a shame.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's a nice looking pen. The Narwhal Mantis, 160. Did it say? I just closed it and I didn't check the price.
Let's see, that was yes, true, $160 for the stainless steel nib. It's got green trim.
I like
green,
that.
Green PVD finish, so it's unique in that aspect because you don't really see any of the green PVD trims on that.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
So we also have there's been a lot of stuff there's like some sailors that were introduced. Let's see, there was sailors been getting into some dip pens lately because they want to do. Sailor has never really done any shimmer or super sheeny inks, if you've ever noticed, like throughout their Sailor Ink Studio or Sailor Shikiori ink lines, is that they tend to just be more of less like shading, or they do the multi-shading. They don't do shimmer or sheen. But what they've been doing is they introduced these dipped-in compass pens, which are dip nib pens that come in a different array of nib styles. One of which being a Fude nib, which is the one that bends upward. It's pretty good for drawing. Then they introduced them with these dipped-in inks, which there's a set of 3 of them that are shimmery, so they have shimmer in it, and they also have a set of 3 that are sheening. So if you're interested in kind of inks that you wouldn't normally throw in your fountain pen, but you like the shimmering and sheening effect, they have Sailor's got some interesting inks to explore in that range as well.
Cool.
So also too, is we also had Goldspot had an exclusive Tis the Season Retro 51 pen, which was one of the first pens ever made with Retro 51 pens made with diamond cast material. So they've done some Heinz pens recently, but this is the first diamond cast pen. It's a nice dark burgundy pen with some gold that goes through it as well. So, and then gold, as polished brass trims. I'm like stumbling over my words here. And that was available in a fountain pen as well as a roll ball, but the fountain pen was basically like the leftover rod stock from producing the lineup of 364 rollerball pens.
Right.
So there was like only 40 fountain pens available, which went really, really quick. Yeah, that was a nice quick release on Black Friday. We released those, so.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then also there's
I want to talk about something that I'm seeing on page 2.
Okay.
Of the new arrivals. Oh, and first other thing, can I make a suggestion on your Gold
No.
Spot page?
Sure.
So here's the thing: you got on the top, the drop downs, fountain pens, brands, shot by category, specials, learning, new arrivals.
Yes.
I would put the new arrivals all the way to the left instead of all the way to the right.
You want that actually, I'll give you a little bit of like some under the hood sort of things. Is that's like a SEO thing. So for search engine purposes, you need to have your stronger keywords be in the be more upfront. So from a usability point of view, it would probably be more helpful to have new arrivals be like that first thing that you see there. But from like a search engine point of view, you want your top tier keywords to be like one of the first pieces of navigation that are there. So like that's what we're trying to like be more rank higher for.
Why don't you put new arrivals in the middle then? At least so it's not all the way on the right.
Yeah, to have it there. I was seeing like if you could just change it that way.
But I'm not a marketing guy. You are. But I want to talk to you about this pen here. It's a Narwhal pen. It's called Ikkaku.
Okay.
Novelar in Qian Tan Shoal. And I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but it's Ikkaku. So I'm going to say
Ikkaku.
Ikkaku. I say
Ikkaku.
Ikkaku. That looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. That is a
very nice looking green, yellow, and black pen. And I'm looking at the product description. I mean, anyone can just look at it. Ikkaku is Japanese for the English word narwhal. And it's the name of Novelar's newest subsidiary brand and our newest venture for Urushi fountain pen. So this is a narwhal Urushi?
Essentially, yeah, boiling it down to that aspect. Yeah, it's basically Ikkaku's narwhal is like premium lineup of they only do the Urushi like so they're basically like Nautilus designs. So it's like it's got that standard cylindrical rounded end design to the pen, and then they have an Urushi artist do their thing to it. So it's an ebonite based pen, Urushi lacquered and designed and everything. Does not have the piston mechanism. It's an eyedropper fill, or it has the converter in it. So it's an international converter or eyedropper converted design pen.
I see.
And it has a gold nib instead of stainless steel.
Right. So the pen is still made in whatever Chinese factory that they make it in, and then they just have an artisan from Japan do the Urushi.
Right.
Oh, I see.
Well, I don't know where the Urushi artisan is from per se, but they do have Urushi, done to it. I don't know exactly. It's because a lot of the other pilot designs are like, oh, it's done by house, blah blah blah, and stuff like. I don't know. Like they don't specify about the Urushi stuff. So
right. I'm also confused about the naming. They got Ikkaku, Japanese for the English word narwhal, but then you have Qian Tan, and then in parentheses shoal. A sandbank or sandbar just below the surface of the water, shoal. Okay, so what's it called? Is it called the Ikkaku?
Well, that's the design. So Ikkaku is the brand. So it's that's the subsidiary brand of Narwhal, and then the Qian Tan is the name of the pen. So that's the name of the design.
Okay, I see. So the model name is Qian Tan,
right?
And the subsidiary line is Ikkaku.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
You love that.
I do. I mean, it's a beautiful pen. It's gorgeous looking at it. It's just yellow, and it really does look unique and nice, and it's beautiful. I wonder how many layers of Urushi are on it.
That I couldn't tell you, but no, I don't know that per se. But I mean, I've seen these in person. I actually seen one that is being exclusively released this week too. This week being, I mean, I don't know when this episode is dropping, but today's Sunday, and it's going to be probably Tuesday when this new Ikkaku pen for Gold Spot's going to be released, and it's going to have
Gold Spot.
It's going to have this new pen that's going to be released. Actually, it's on the website currently. It's the one that's called Seaweed. I can't pronounce whatever it is that it's Ikkaku.
What is it?
Let's see. Haizao?
I think it's. What page is it on?
It's not. So it wouldn't be in new arrivals because it hasn't been launched yet. But it's the Seaweed Urushi with the Regalia Flex nib. So this is not.
For it?
So you could look it up by if you type in Ikkaku and then Seaweed. It'll be much easier to find once it actually gets released, but since it's out of stock, it doesn't show up immediately when you start typing for things because it'll prioritize those things that get stock. If let's say you went to
Shanghai Deep Sea. No, that's not it, is it?
No.
Here we go. This one is the Ikkaku by Narwhal fountain pen in Haizhou seaweed.
Haizhou,
Urushi,
yep.
Regala, flex nib. They're making bold claims here. They're saying words like flex nib.
Yeah, but this is a flex nib. This is a flex nib, all right. It's the Ralph Reyes, the Regalia Writing Labs flex nib. So this is something that he does. He engineered this nib over years and has produced a nib that he hand makes every single one of these and has it tuned so that it flexes like you would expect vintage flex to flex like.
What kind of feed does it use?
It uses an ebonite feed, a flexible nib factory ebonite feed that's made for pilot pens. That has it's for the Con 70 converters. That's what includes is the Con 70 converter. It's got triple fissure feed, and it's got a very, very deep, wide set for those fissures so that it will not flood the nib with ink, but it will keep it up for the flexing.
I have to test this bad boy out.
It's a fun nib, and I actually had just interviewed Ralph. We shot a video on Friday to talk about his Regalia flex nib and its various iterations over time and his inspiration for it. It's a pretty deep, interview that we got a chance to talk with him about, and it's the nib is just I've played with it when it was introduced back in August. He had put it on another Ikkaku pen that was released at the DC pen show that didn't last more than a day. They were gone less than a day, all of those Ikkakus, and it's a fantastic nib. It's just it's one of those nibs that people will hunt down to go find them just so they could find just the nib too, because he has such a great reputation for his work and how much he puts into each one of these things.
How are the sales on the Ikkaku, the first one we talked about? How are those? How are the sales on those doing?
They sell okay. There's a piece or two that go out. It's not anything very crazy. It's not like that they drop, especially since Narwhal and Ikkaku tend to make a lot of different designs in different colors and then have them come out kind of like Estabrook does every other weeknight basically. So some of these things they will go, but it just is a matter of, well, is it a color that people are looking for? Is it something that it's you just hope that they don't make too many of these and it just becomes it's just there's way too many to choose from now.
Yeah, the only reason I'm asking is just because I'm wondering how well received a Narwhal or Novelar pen ranging from $600 to $800 is to the public, to people looking at this stuff, right? Because $160 for a Narwhal pen is one thing, and then all of a sudden I'm looking through the Gold Spot page and there's 5 or 6 different lines of Ikkakus, and they range from $600 to $800. And as much as I like Narwhal, and I understand why the cost goes up for something in the Urushi line, do you think that maybe it's too soon to try something like this? Especially considering looking at the only research I've done is by looking at the Gold Spot product description, right? There's no information on the Urushi lacquer process. There's no information that would convince me that it warrants this kind of price tag.
Right. I think feedback has been pretty good so far for just in general that that people have really enjoyed it. The particularly the most of that we've sold so far has been through that Regalia release that we did back with the DC show. That one.
What was
so
that?
Because they don't make a lot of these, so they made, I think for DC they made 50 pens, for example, with that Regalia flex nib. So I think Goldspot had maybe 5 or 6 of them possibly, and that just went out within a day. That was the best. That was, and that's where we got some really.
What did that one cost?
That one was it was $7.99, so it was $800 for that.
$800, right? So like it's crazy to me that a Visconti Homo sapien is the same price as a Narwhal pen, or rather, I'm going to say it the other way around. A Narwhal pen is the same price as a Visconti Homo sapien, right? Like, if I had to choose between
that's
the two,
coming up into like a championship heavyweight class right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like I just like it's almost baffling that that a Narwhal pen costs that much.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm being mean. Like if looking back at I forgot which one had the flex nib. Was it the seaweed one?
Yes.
Okay, the seaweed one, you have that nib on it and stuff like that. And when you have a nib like that and you put it on a pen and it works as well as, you know, you say it does and stuff, people will buy it, right? But that Shoal one, that's $600. Like you can get a cellulite Leonardo pen for that much.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's not this, because those are very few and far between. I mean, basically, you get them bespoke on Leonardo's website, but like an Ebonite one, you could. So but I mean, there's at that level, once you get past like the 300 and up, I just feel that it's just like a wild gambit for. It just is up to like whatever it is that you're looking for, whether it is that material for the pen or like a certain level of uniqueness, if it was like hand embellished or, you know, like painted with Bennu stuff or whatever. It just really is up to what you're attaching value to, because it's like at that point it's like I you know, it's like $300 and up. It's whatever it is that you're trying to like aim for. That's what you want, you know. So for example, for this, it's more or less like for the Ikkaku stuff, it's like I want an Urushi pen that is going to look as awesome as, let's say, something I would send to Bokumondo. Because like, let's say if I wanted to send one of my sailors to Bokumondo, my most recent one for the Mont Blanc 146, that customization cost, it was like $350 or so just for the Urushi stuff. So if I wanted to, let's say, get a Narwhal, just a plain black ebonite Narwhal, $120, steel nib, and I wanted to send it to Bokumondo, that's going to probably then, combined with the original cost of the pen, it's going to be around like $500+. So, and I'll still have a steel nib. These Ikkakus have 14 karat gold nibs, at least to start with the other ones that are the 600, you know, those. So like, you're looking, that's what you're kind of aiming for with this purchase, is you want to have an Urushi lacquered pen. Like, you want to have something that's going to be in that Namiki look
to me,
and tier.
The mystique of an Urushi pen is deeply rooted in the artisan that does it, right? The signature on it, the little like vertical.
But they don't have the detail as far as where that's coming from.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this. I don't know who's doing this. They might have just dropped it into a vat of like Urushi and then swirled it around, and you got this amazing pattern. You know what I mean? Like like I said, the mystique about it is the artisan. And for example, you take like a Namiki, and you know that artisan who worked on the Namiki went to school for like 20 years for it, and he's a legitimate artisan of it and stuff like that. This is going to sound like a real asshole statement, and I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. I just want to get a grip. I'm trying to get a hold of what this pen is and its price. And I'm going to make a comparison, and tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right, okay?
Okay.
And it's going to sound really mean. I mean it when I say I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. From what I'm seeing, okay, looking at the information, which is limited, on the Ikkaku, it's almost like it's a Urushi pen, but the fast food version, to me.
Okay.
Because with Urushi pens and stuff like that, whenever there's marketing material about it, they're more than happy and willing to talk about the artisan involved. They're always proud of the fact that they had an artisan work on this, working on the pen, how long it takes to make the pen, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So why not in this pen's case?
I will say this about them. I think that that's something that I could definitely improve on. I think the way that we could change this from being like more, let's say, like saying the fast food thing, and being a little bit more, let's say, like giving some pointed criticism, is that, well, why don't they give more of a view on like how that is done? And I see this a lot with also their new releases and things, is that the information that they give to the retailers is basically like, here's a new version of our Nautilus for the vacation or whatever. Here's another Jonathan Brooks pen. But they don't really, they don't give that extra little bit. Like, they kind of are like, well, people understand Jonathan Brooks. Oh, great. And then here's the pen. Here's a Narwhal pen. Or that they're like, oh, we did this new Original Plus pen and we did it in a different color. Like, they do need, I think, a little bit more of that that backstory to each of these designs, even in the other line, in their normal Narwhal line. But especially, though, I definitely think in the Ikkaku line really needs more of that backstory and information, because like you said, I would also want to know too, like if I'm buying into one of these, especially if I am a purchaser of Urushi lacquered pens, I would like to know who made it, like how is it made. I want to understand where my extra money is being spent.
Right, and the thing is, you were talking about Bokumondo.
Right.
So you take like a blank Nautilus made of ebonite, and that's $160. Bokumondo charges $350, so that's like $500 right there, right? It has a stainless steel nib, so it's about $500 to get that pen made up. You know who the artisan is.
And you could actually tell Bokumondo, I saw this on your Instagram feed, this particular design, put this on this Narwhal pen. And that's why I like doing it that way, is because you get the full customization out of it.
So in the case of the Ikkaku pens, it seems they're putting out a generic version of Urushi. And the whole point of spending all the money on a Urushi pen like that, spending $800 on a Urushi pen by Platinum or by Namiki or Pilot, or I'm missing one of the Japanese names, Platinum, Namiki, Sailor, or something like that, right?
Or Wancher too. Wancher also does that too.
Wancher's a big one. Is the description of the artisans, is you're buying into the culture, you're buying into the mystique of the culture, you're buying into the art, you're buying into the commitment of the artists. When they put a product out like this and it looks gorgeous, but they tell you nothing about it, to me it's like, well, that's great. It's the difference between buying a print of a painting and buying the painting, right? I need to know. I think they should say something about it, because they're doing everything else. They're selling the pen. They're charging for the pen. Why not give the information on it? I don't know. It's just my suggestion. It might be like, I'm not trying to undersell. I'm not trying to unsell it. I'm just saying that if you're going to play in the Urushi game, then play in the Urushi game, right?
Yeah.
Like
do it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's the artisan from? Is he trained? I'm sure he's trained. Where is he trained? You know what I'm saying? So, typically and historically speaking, Japanese Urushi pens sell for a high price point. But there's also what's called Chinese lacquer, which is the Chinese version of Urushi that historically doesn't sell as much. So, as a consumer, if I'm spending $800 or $600 on a quote-unquote Urushi pen, then I want to know that it is in fact Urushi. And if it's not, and it's just Chinese lacquer, then I want to pay for Chinese lacquer, not Urushi, right? So this is not like a race thing. I'm not saying Chinese are more or less competent than the Japanese. I'm just saying that there's tradition associated with the Japanese that is separate from Chinese, right? I know the Chinese created the Urushi and the Japanese took it on and did their own thing with it, but It's kind of like if I'm paying for authentic Italian food, which would cost more than the Olive Garden, then I want to know why I'm paying more for the authentic Italian food. I would be upset if I went to an authentic Italian restaurant to find out that it's just a renamed Olive Garden. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about in this case. I think it's just interesting, and maybe you could talk to Frank about it, you know?
Yeah,
What are
we
your
could.
thoughts? You tell me.
No,
Am I being too harsh, or?
No. I think definitely you have a point in regards to, giving more information, because I think it only helps them. I think it only helps the case that to show the value that's there, because the people do want to know that key important aspect is like, well, the artisan that does this, because the whole concept of the Ikkaku line is that it's a handmade, it's a hand done, process of this Urushi. So show it being done, show who does it, show the reason why there's so much value that would be in it. So, so that way people are fully understanding of that fact, that this is a valuable piece of writing instrument, So I totally agree.
Yeah, beautiful pen. I can't wait for you to send me one in the mail. But having said that, I think it's time to wrap this up. I don't want to go too long because I got things to do. And I just want to remind everybody, please check out my sponsors, Goldspot Pens. And if you're going to pick anything up or stuff your stockings or put something under a tree, please check out Goldspot using the affiliate link in the description below and use coupon code FOLIAGE. I don't know what relevance that had to do with anything. Why we chose foliage. It blows my mind. Also, don't forget to check out Luxury Brands of America, the endless recorder that Tom has. I actually have one here myself. I haven't had time to use it.
You do. There you go.
As well as the Rainforest pen and the Christmas pens that they have from Banu. Thanks again for watching / listening. I love you guys. Be well. Be safe.
Stay inky.